An activist, a journalist, a politician take on a sports historian and a columnist on the Newshour tonight. Activist Dr. Naganathan, senior journalist Ms. R. Rajagopalan, politician Bharat Kumar Raut of the Shiv Sena, sports historian Times Now's Boria Majumdar, and Sohail Seth, managing partner of Council Edge, who thinks this is ridiculous. Why do you think it's ridiculous, Sohail?
I think, to quote your earlier phrase of namby-pambiness, we are becoming a nation not just of nexuses, but of wimpish, isolatory, and pretty deprecatory, derogatory behavior. Here's the logic, Arnab. Why are we infusing politics into everything? Kamala Hassan can't release his film in Tamil Nadu. You have Shiv Sena, which forces Pakistani players out of Bombay in the hockey league. What kind of a country are we becoming? Why are we injecting the ruination and the cancerous nature of our politics into things that people celebrate and people enjoy, into things that bind people together? Sports is not something that should be infused with the kind of viciousness that our politicians have become experts at, and that is my worry. Why should a Chennai spectator be deprived of a Lankan player? Or for that matter, why should anyone, even people who are not living in Chennai, should be deprived of this? I can't understand, what are we trying to achieve? Are we sending real messages, or is this just tokenism? You want the government at the center to fall, to be a supplicant, to be a lapdog? Go ahead and do it. That's politics. But don't do that with sport, because sport is universal, it is borderless, and it is largely neutral. To inject sport, you will then leave nothing which is bereft of politics in this country. We've had politics over water, over electricity, over goddamn onions.
Mr. Rajagopalan.
Over hockey, over cricket. I mean, what the hell is going
Mr.
on?
Rajagopalan, an open charge of hypocrisy. And now let me tell you, Mr. Rajagopalan, the civil war, what you call the genocide, ended in 2009. There have been 4 seasons of IPL subsequently when Sri Lankan players participated in the IPL. Some even played for Chennai Super Kings. Jayalalitha didn't object. Karunanidhi forgot. Stalin was quiet. Adagiri said nothing. Why?
There was no Geneva at that time, Arnab. Geneva.
What does Geneva have to do with IPL?
Mother problem is Geneva. Geneva, of course it is to do with IPL, because 30,000 to 40,000 Tamilians were killed in northeastern province. You can't be just ignoring that. Geneva was to pass a resolution. Indian government failed there. Therefore, Tamil parties, except Congress, DMK, MDMK, ADMK, PMK, whichever Dravidian parties, every party wanted a genocide and war crime word to be included.
Sir, you are denying. Sir, you are denying the fact that it's you are denying it's a very convenient argument. With a great respect to you, Mr. Rajagopal, and know how much respect I have for you. It's a very convenient argument, because the Indian team, and it's convenient, and Dr. Naganathan, people like Dr. Naganathan go along with it because it's convenient to them as well. The fact is, the Indian team visited Sri Lanka on several occasions since the mid-1990s. The war was raging. The war was raging and cricket was going on. Wasn't it?
Now, the students' agitation in Tamil Nadu was the main reason for the entire thing. Students have come to the streets.
Where were the students? Where were the students 1 month back?
Of cricket.
Where were the students 2 months back?
Well, of course, what you ask is
how do I know the students have not been propped up by the politicians?
Chandran triggered the entire controversy.
How do I know the students have not been propped up by the politicians?
I don't think it's a spontaneous one. After 1965 Hindi agitation, the 2013 cricket has become a very major one.
Where was the spontaneity till now? The atrocities were going on for 15 years. Where was the spontaneity, Dr. Naganathan? I'd like to go to you next.
Arnav, it's high time that only now your media are covering this issue. Constant regulation and protests are on in Tamil Nadu for pretty long. Only this time it has captured the media, as Sir said, because of the UN resolution. I would state that we should not mix sports with politics. Yes, true. But what happened? We stopped South Africa for more than 2 decades from playing any World Cup matches because of their apartheid racist policy. That was a very strong message given to South Africa. Even International Olympic Association banned South Africa in 1962. Those were immense amount of pressure to South Africa to change their policy from anti-apartheid policy. so that they got into the mainstream.
Dr. Naganathan, I am not, Dr. Naganathan, may I please? I am not even discussing the merits.
There's a
or
logical
demerits.
fallacy.
I am simply asking a question. 2009, this genocide ended, right? 2009. I want to know.
Yes.
Where, no,
Yes.
1 minute. After 2009, Boria, how many times did the Indian team visit Sri Lanka? If I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 times we went. How many times did we go to Sri Lanka?
How many protests?
Where was Dr. Naganathan?
How many protests were conducted in Tamil Nadu? How many protests were conducted
Why
in
were they
Tamil
not
Nadu?
conducted?
Still from 2009 till 2012,
Why were they not
there were many
conducted?
protests conducted in Tamil Nadu.
Why
Only
did
this time-
Jayalalitha stop the
only
team?
this time, no.
Why did
protests were
Jayalalitha stop a IPL match from
See,
happening
this-
earlier?
So
Can I come in?
Then when the people reflection is I tone, when the
Right.
people reflections are in I tone, then only the politicians take the people's stand.
I think it's a little,
So
the timing is
people's
suspect.
voice
Boria.
of condemning the issues.
Boria.
You know, there are 4 points here, 4, and very simple ones. One, today it's Tamil Nadu. Tomorrow somebody will say Bangladeshis can't play in Guwahati.
Yeah.
Someone will say Nepalese
Correct.
can't play in Darjeeling.
Right, that's-
Someone will say so-and-so can't play in so-and-so. You know, this is political hypocrisy of the highest order.
Hypocrisy.
What nationalism are we talking about? Is it Indian nationalism or Tamil nationalism? Point number 1. Point number 2, from 2009
What about
to
human
2013, 4 years, everybody... 1 second. 4 years, everyone played in the IPL, no one uttered a word. Last month, there was a test match in Chennai. Kumar Dharmasena from Sri Lanka officiated in Chennai. No one uttered a word. From 2009, India went to Sri Lanka 22 times.
Ah.
No one uttered a word. India went to Australia when there were racist attacks going on. These politicians were sleeping. Everyone's woken up because the elections are coming. They now need these votes.
Absolutely.
So why don't we tap into mass hysteria? And this man just mentioned this point that the media has woken up. So just because the media has woken up, the politicians now want to use the IPL. It is political hypocrisy of the highest order
Arnab,
to
it is not
endorse
like
what
that.
Joel said
Even
was saying.
BCCI discussed
It is political hypocrisy.
knew that Sri Lanka
Let
was
him
not
complete.
allowed to be played. Srinivasan knew
complete.
about it.
What
Let
BCCI
Boria complete.
discussed at the internal meetings.
What?
Sir,
Can't
sir,
hear you.
don't shout. You might get a heart attack. Just calm it.
Yeah, I mean,
No, not at all.
I didn't get
don't
the point.
bother about that because Tamilians have been killed, Mr. Johel said. It is not that, you know. BCCI
Sir,
knew about it.
Sir, let me tell you.
BCCI knew about
Let me
that
tell you.
Sri Lankan
Arnab's
players
point.
are there.
Sir, may I, with your permission, intervene? I think the issue that you have raised and that every Tamilian is seized with is not a minor issue. The fact that the genocide happened is condemnable at the highest quarters. You talked
Yes,
about
yes, that's
Geneva.
not-
I think
everyone's
it
doing
goes
that.
beyond
Correct.
Geneva. Sir, let me finish. I
That is
didn't
correct.
interrupt
That
you,
is
so be
correct.
polite to not interrupt me. Number 1. Number 2, the point that Boria and I are making is that when you have complete isolationary tactics like the ones that are being employed by politicians who are nothing but self-serving louts at one end and dolts on the other,
Oh, that's-
what you're doing, sir, is you are closing
bit
every
extreme.
avenue of every avenue of reconciliation. You talked, or Mr. Naganathan talked about South Africa. On our passports as Indian nationals, there was a stamp saying we weren't allowed to visit South Africa. As of date, our Indian passports don't have that stamp that we are not allowed to visit Sri Lanka. The bigger hypocrisy is if you have diplomatic relations and then treat those people like pariahs. That is my worry. So if you have the courage, as you do,
Look.
if you have the temperament, which is quite apparent, then my recommendation would be to tell the gentleman
can I-
in dark glasses and the lady with the flowing cape to take this at a much more senior level rather than threaten to pull down a government, which in any case is on its knees. Our government crawls when asked to walk. So
No.
what are we achieving by that, sir? You are only dragging a soft target
can I
like
reply
sports into public imagery for no rhyme or reason. We will have nothing to celebrate left in this
I reply to
country.
that?
Nothing. That is our appeal. We are not at all suggesting that we condone the genocide.
Yeah.
That was reprehensible. But that the solution to one genocide is not by acting like complete
Miss-
deprecatory
Okay.
people like what we are made out to be.
One second. Well, strong language here.
I'll reply to
One
that. I'll
second,
reply to
gentlemen.
that.
Before you
I'll
come
reply to
in,
that.
I see 3 hands go up. Raja Gopal's hands goes up. Boria's hands go up. I go, however, to Bharat Kumar Rao. Bharat Kumar Rao, what is your position, please? Do you welcome what Jayalalitha is doing in Tamil Nadu as a representative of the Shiva Sena?
Listen,
you support it.
Listen, let me complete now. I've been listening to everybody here, and thanks for the compliments which came from Soeb about the political system. I'm
those are his views.
I'm a journalist, but now also in the politics. So I'm not trying to champion for politicians. But simple thing I must tell that Shiva Sena, I don't know what is our official stand would be, but the logic says, if Madam Jayalalitha has taken a stance in Tamil Nadu, and I know for sure, and Mr. Rajgopal will also, he will support me, is that the feelings of Tamilians are very strong about it. If Jayalalitha ji has taken this decision of stopping Sri Lankans to play in that is her right.
Do you support it?
That is her right.
Do you support it? No, do you support it?
No, see, don't ask me yes or no.
No, why not? Why not? You either support it or you're against it.
But let me complete, Arnab.
But do you support it?
You can ask, have you stopped beating your wife? No, it is not like that.
I'm asking, do you support it?
No, this is not a mathematical question.
He's supporting.
It is a political question.
Let him answer.
Let me answer it politically. It is very much in the jurisdiction of Mrs. Jayalalitha to allow anybody to play in Sri Lanka, in Chennai or not.
Oh.
Yes. No. Listen. Let me complete.
No. But 1 second. 1 second, sir. Please. Reason I'm asking you is because you have considerable influence in Mumbai.
Yeah.
Right. So in the past you have used your influence to stop Pakistan from playing.
Yes, and we will.
No, you will also.
We will. Yeah.
So am I to assume that you don't have strong views on what Jayalalitha on Tamil on Lankan players playing in there? You don't have any strong views on that.
We have all sympathy for the Tamilians.
No. Do you have strong views on it?
Yeah, but because this is very much within Jayalalitha.
No. Why do you have strong views on it?
Strong views about the way Sri Lanka, these Tamilians must be feeling about the genocide of their own people in Sri Lanka. We have apathy, sympathy
so
for that.
there are people of Tamil origin in Mumbai also.
Yeah.
What about their sentiments?
Yeah, so they should express that.
Oh, so one second. So wherever, depending on numerical strength, you decide.
It is. So listen.
One second. Depending on numerical strength, you decide. Right?
No, it is not so. It is not so. I am saying
if
that
you had a stronger vote bank among the Tamil. 1 second. If you had a stronger vote
can
bank
I make
among.
a point, please?
It's not a question of
if you
vote
had a
bank.
stronger vote bank among
Please.
Tamil origin people in Mumbai, sir, my direct question to you is: would you
No,
then have taken a position that the Lankan players cannot?
We have. It is not a question of Tamilians. We oppose Pakistan players coming in Mumbai or in Maharashtra. This is because we as Indians very strongly feel about what Pakistanis are doing in India.
Can you do
and
this?
They're killing our innocent
Arnab,
lives.
can I make a point,
We
please?
oppose that.
Boria is asking a counter question, sir.
No,
Boria,
let me complete, Boria. Let me complete.
Arnab,
Boria.
the point is simple.
Let me complete.
The point is simple.
See, it's a simple
go ahead.
decency
Finish it,
demand
then
that
I'll ask
I
you a
must
question.
complete.
Let him complete, Boria.
Let me complete.
Let him complete. I
Don't
also,
get
want,
excited
I
like
also
this.
want to tell you
Please.
here that Sohail has said a few. He also wants to come back on the subject.
I feel I'm being accused back, but it is not so.
No, you're not in the accused box.
I'm ready to answer all questions as far as my party and my conscience is concerned. I'm ready to answer. Question here is that in Mumbai, Shiva Sena had opposed Pakistanis for their atrocities on Indians.
Sir, that
here,
is
Jayalalitha ji is opposing the Sri Lankan players for their so-called atrocities on Tamilians. There's a difference.
No. Sir, there is a difference. My counter question to that is, I'll let Boria come in. Now let Boria come in. Boria.
Yeah.
Arnab, point is simple. Do the Tamilians only have the right to condemn this? All of us are Indians. We condemn this in the
Which is what we said.
most unequivocal terms. We think it is reprehensible, disgusting. But the fact is, you made this point and very rightly so. What about Tamil sentiment in Mumbai? And you need not be a Tamil. I condemn this in the most unequivocal terms. Why are the Sri Lankan players being allowed to play in the rest of India? Is it that hypocrisy?
No,
Every Indian condemns this. So why this selective stand in Tamil Nadu?
Don't use
why is Mr. Bharat Kumar saying that it's only Jayalalitha stand?
words
Let him
like
say the same thing in
hypocrisy.
Mumbai, because
Don't use
every
words like
Indian
hypocrisy
condemns
by
this
sitting in
genocide
Mumbai
Sri
or in
Lanka.
Delhi.
So they should be
Don't
stopped
use
by
those
the
words.
same logic. They should be stopped from playing in Mumbai, from playing in Bengal, from playing in Delhi, from playing in every other part of India. Why is it that only Mrs. Jayalalitha will have to
that's
So the question
Point number one.
No, question.
Point number two.
Yeah, okay.
We have been knowing this from 2009. What was Mrs. Jayalalitha doing in 2010, 2011 and 2012? Is it because it's election year, suddenly everyone's woken up to this? Is it because it's
I'll
political
get Mr.
expediency?
Rajagopal to respond
and
to that.
tomorrow, somebody, as I made this point earlier, someone mentioned South Africa. The case doesn't even apply. He made a factual error. It was not in 1962, it was 1969-70 when the IOC banned it. Then also some other Western powers like Britain did not want to go ahead with the ban. South African situation doesn't even, have any similarity whatsoever with the Tamil situation. What about the Tamil diaspora? There is a huge Tamil diaspora in countries like Canada. Are we going to sever diplomatic ties with them because these governments are not going with the Tamil sentiments? I think this is a clear case.
It's a bigger debate.
This is no comparison. This is no
it's a big-
comparison. See, how can you compare? There are Tamilians in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Bangkok. Do you think that we should have ban everywhere? It is not so. I think you should have some logic in comparing things. Here it is not about Tamil diaspora. It is about Sri Lankan army doing genocide against
the
Tamilians.
Sri Lankan
there.
army did the genocide in the year 2009. After that, Indians toured Sri Lanka twice. Doesn't this only go on to prove that the Sri Lanka issue is precipitated only now because there are direct political dividends that political parties in Tamil Nadu want to encash?
Absolutely.
That's we're seeing through it.
Correct.
Exactly.
Sohail wants to come in. Sohail, back to Sohail.
Look, Arnab, as Bore and I said, and I've said this in my opening remarks as well, the hand of political manipulation is quite apparent. All I'm saying is that when you inject politics into everything that we hold dear, into a sport that we celebrate, then don't be hypocritical or don't be isolationary. The point Bore made is fair. If this is our government stand, it should not only be Jayalalitha's government. She is a representative of the people of Tamil Nadu, but she's also an Indian.
Yes.
So if the Indian government has agreed or the BCCI has agreed to her demands, then I think the Indian government perhaps should consider whether at all we want to maintain any kinds
that
of
is a
ties
good
with Sri
point.
Lanka.
Exactly.
No, but that is a good point.
Sir, let me finish. Mr. Rajagopal, I've always, I very rarely call anyone sir. I'm saying sir to you, you keep interrupting.
Jayalalitha ji here. I'm not standing for her.
Again you're interrupting.
Said, it is now the central government, the union government has to come in the picture.
Sohail, it's Bharat Kumar Raut, not Mr.
Sir,
Rajagopal who interrupted you.
Let me tell you about the central government, which we all know. The central government crawls when it is asked to walk. It is a government that will kowtow to all state leaders. The reality of the matter is, do we as sensible, rational citizens who condemn the reprehensible act of genocide in Sri Lanka, do we want to come across as a divided nation? Why should India be divided? Then have one uniform policy and say, look, we will not have anything to do with Sri Lanka until there is some level.
Yeah, Mr. Rajagopal. No, Mr. Rajagopal.
You're right.
I let Mr. Rajagopal in.
I heard Mr. Sunil say it. I heard him very rapidly. I did not disturb him. Let me also have a 1 minute. It is not a today's one on genocide, Arunab. It is Kachativ. For 40 years, we are not getting that. Fishermen being killed in Tamil Nadu for the last 60 years, central government failed to answer that. And Chogam, Jayalalitha, it's all combination of many things, Mr. Arunab. It's not only one day that BCCI cricket should be banned. It's a culmination of major protest in Tamil Nadu. That is why it is happening. As Sunil said very aptly, the central government failed to satisfy the Tamilians. The anger on Tamilians on the central government, especially on the Congress government.
So let me ask you a counter question.
That is why it is politics.
Let me ask you a counter question.
No, you are election or it has nothing to do with politics.
You are an eminent political journalist.
Nothing to do with election.
By Karunanidhi removing his ministers.
It is a political issue.
But sir, by Karunanidhi removing his ministers from the cabinet, he's only helping the central government.
No,
they can breathe easier. So it's not even as if there's an potent threat there.
No, one second. Let's get the logic right. Let's take the case of Bangladesh. Millions of people from Bangladesh regularly have crossed the border, defying the international border. They have given sanctuary over years to terrorist groups operating from out of Bangladesh into Assam. Large bases of the Harkatul Jihad-e-Islami and previously till recently the big bosses of the Ulfa were running businesses in Bangladesh. By that logic today, Mr. Rajagopal, you should say that if the All Assam Students Union stands up and says we will hold protest and not allow the Bangladesh team to play in Guwahati, then you must stand out and support. They're absolutely right. So the Bangladesh team not allowed in Guwahati.
Exactly, that's the point I made at the very
Pakistan team not allowed in Mumbai. The Sri Lankan team not allowed in Chennai.
Actually, if you don't allow the Bangladesh team, the Indian cricket team might fare better.
We should ban Pakistan team anywhere.
Yeah, but then you should also ban the Lankans. You should not give lip sympathy to the Lankans.
No, Pakistani are not doing atrocity only against Mumbai.
No, you pick
They're all over there.
No, one second. Mr. One second. Mr. Bharat Kumar Raut, I very clearly remember that the Shiva Sena Supremo, the late Balasaheb Thackeray, took a very strong position against Bangladeshi immigrants.
Yeah.
Right? Now, by that logic, if I were to say that unless Bangladeshi government stops illegal infiltration into India, we should not let the Bangladesh team play in Mumbai as well.
Listen,
why are you selective?
No, you are stretching it too far.
Why? Where am I stretching it far? I am questioning the politics of convenience that is getting into our sport.
You are right, but let me complete. Here, Balasaheb Thackeray had specifically mentioned about Bangladeshi infiltrators or the illegal immigrants coming into India. That time, if I remember, and you will also remember, that all of us, entire media and all political parties had opposed. Even Balasaheb Thackeray opposing Pakistani playing in India.
You want visiting? You want visiting sports team to take a certificate, a clearance from the local state government? Or the local city government? You want them to go to the mayor and get a clearance from the mayor as well?
See, listen, don't ridicule this issue. Don't ridicule this issue.
I'm not ridiculing it. I'm telling you the reality. It may seem ridiculous.
You are ridiculing the issue. If the Tamilians' feelings are strong, and if their chief minister is taking a stance against, we have nothing against it. It is between the Tamil Nadu and the Sri Lankan government or the BCCI. It is not convenient.
Very convenient.
It is not.
So you will allow. You have no problems. Your lip service is to that point where you will allow the Sunrisers to have Kumar Sangakkara as their captain.
Let me just complete one sentence.
So why doesn't SpiceJet stop operations to Colombo? Why doesn't SpiceJet, which is owned by a particular family which has a very feeble connection with politics, why don't they stop international flights to Sri Lanka or not overfly Sri Lanka?
That's a good point.
I mean, we can keep taking this argument or no. Mr. Rajagopal is right. If you have to have a policy, have a uniform, hypocrisy-free policy.
Have a hypocrisy-free policy. 3 minutes on this debate. Boria, I'm coming back to you. Dr. Naganathan's turn. Yes, Dr. Naganathan. Yes, please.
Sir.
I think you're on the back foot tonight, Dr. Naganathan, on this subject.
Yeah. No, it's not about back foot. It's not about politics. It's gross human rights violation taking place in the century. It's a gross human rights violation. India has a moral responsibility to address the human rights.
Yeah, we have.
We gave 3 years time to Sri Lanka post 2009 for rehabilitation. They didn't respond in a manner. All type of diplomatic arms, they've turned it down. They have completely stopped India, fooled India, saying that they'll devolve powers to Tamils. So when all diplomatic forums have come down, it's responsible of India to address and put pressure on Sri Lanka in many formats. And this was one of the format. No one is ready in Tamil Nadu to celebrate IPL when there's 1.5 lakh people of my brotherhood are
Dr. Naganathan,
you should understand.
Dr. Naganathan, now let me tell you something. You think the IPL owners care? You think they care? They said to me, they said to me, we have 10 foreign players at any point of time, 5 of them are benched. Okay, Kolkata Knight Riders will not play Senanayake. Mumbai Indians will not play Lasith Malinga. Not playing Lasith Malinga will not bring the government of Sri Lanka to its knees. It will only give a little bit of... No, 1 minute. It will, is it? It will. You think because Lasith Malinga will not... No, you think that because Lasith Malinga will not play for Mumbai Indians or because Angelo Matthews will not play for Pune Warriors, you think Rajapakse will say, I'll change my policy?
The Sri Lankans won't think... No. Sri Lankans will think it is not only a Tamil Nadu issue, then the Sri Lankans think it has become an Indian issue. So the pressure will be mounted on Sri Lanka to decide upon that.
No, so you
That's
think...
what's happening all over.
So you think...
You have to take account of that.
So you genuinely think that Tilakaratne Dilshan and Tisara Pereira's career is a matter of such grave consequence to Rajapakse that Sri Lankan government policy will change?
Not at all.
Say,
Not at all.
It's regarding this
IPL
IPL format,
No,
but
can I
we
make
are
a point?
sending a strong message, no?
It won't. Boria.
IPL is seen as a machine
It
of
is,
commerce,
it will.
not of
Can I make a
compassion.
point, please?
Yes, Boria.
You know, you were making this point. You know, it's a request from us. This is a very serious issue. Please don't trivialize by saying by not allowing Sri Lankan players to play in Chennai, we are going to turn the world upside down. Genocide is a serious issue. It's a serious issue
No,
to be taken up at the highest of diplomatic levels, at the political level.
It is going on.
Please, for
We are
heaven's sake,
utilizing all arms.
do not mix.
We are utilizing all arms.
No, this is a very, very serious issue. Do not trivialize. Please ask our friends not to trivialize
It's
it
not
by
about
saying Lasith
trivializing. You have to
Malinga
be
playing in Sri
sensitive to that
Lanka,
issue.
not playing in Chennai will result in Mahinda
It's about
Rajapaksa suddenly,
sensitiveness of the issue.
becoming enlightened. It's not going to happen. This is clearly a case of political hypocrisy. As Suhail said, stop airlines,
No, I
stop
don't think so.
diplomatic contact, stop
Sorry,
political
sir.
contact. Make sure it becomes a South Africa.
Good.
I, as an Indian, I
It is
also
just a
feel the
step
same
towards
way.
that.
Then why
It
is
is
it
a
that
step
we will
towards
allow
that.
Chennai players to, Sri Lankan players to play in Calcutta? Or for that matter in Delhi, or for that matter in Mumbai.
Last
You know,
response
we are
from
actually
Shiv Sena.
trivializing the issue.
Listen,
Let
I-
Mr.
Let it be-
Bharat
this
Kumar
is the
Raut
first
say,
step.
I will
Let
not
it be-
allow
this
them
is
to
the
play
first
in
step.
Mumbai as well, and
Let
I
it be a
sympathize
first
with the
step.
Chennai politicians.
I will just take
sympathize
1
with
minute,
the Tamil
Arnab.
brothers.
I will
No,
take
it is-
only 1
it is
minute.
going on. It's the first
We
step.
are
It is the
trying to
first step.
trivialize these things,
Many more
and
will follow
thereby
on.
hurting the sensitivity of every other Indian. That, I think, is a criminal thing to do.
No, it should-
It's a shame.
Okay, now
not a
let me
criminal thing.
come
You
into
should
it.
understand the criteria.
Here I want to make 2 points. One, everybody, you are also saying that by stopping some players from playing in Chennai, will it bring the Sri Lankan government down? It will not. But it is symbolic. Mahatma Gandhi picked up a pinch of salt. Do you think that he meant that by picking a pinch of salt in the salt agitation that will bring the British government down? But it was symbolic.
Excellent.
That created
So now
that
Mahatma Gandhi is
atmosphere.
equal to
That
the
is
IPL.
important. This is number
Brilliant.
one.
Brilliant.
Number two. If we are talking
Brilliant.
about separating game
Last
from
response from Sohail.
game from politics, now let me ask you and remind you,
Arnab, I
just a
also want to
fortnight
say
ago,
something.
Let him complete, sir.
Indian government, official Indian government, from government side, it cancelled Pakistan hockey team's tour to India.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about it? Who is hypocrite?
Okay, Sohail, last response.
Shiva Sena or the government?
Last
or
response.
you, all of you, who don't say a word about
Oh.
it?
No, we've said politicians, sir.
Okay,
We've
well-
covered ourselves. We've said politicians.
Now what do you say about
But
Indian
you also
government?
should know, in
Yes, sir.
1984, Rajiv Gandhi cancelled Indian players to go to Sri Lanka.
Exactly.
So it is not yesterday, today, Sir Arnab. It has been on for longer years. It's not today, yesterday.
Yes, but when
it is
Akila-
a combination of many things. Tamil
But you
Nadu
know
Assembly
something-
passed a resolution. Chogam did not happen. Geneva failed. Central government is DMK withdrew support. Yesterday DMK General Council met.
I'm asking-
These are all certain combinations
when
of
this
many
first-
things.
when this
It's not
first-
one day event.
When this first game
Therefore,
happens,
to bring a pressure on Sri Lanka,
That's all right.
they have been wanting this.
I don't
she
know.
suggested that it will
I'm
be a
not
law and order problem.
I'm not sure. Maybe our foreign policy is that fragile. Probably, given what's happening, we think it is. I'm not sure that because Novan Kulasekara will not play the opening match between CSK and Mumbai Indians at the Chidambaram Stadium on the 6th of April, Rajapaksa will change his opinion. I put that question to our
No, the
audience
pressure is
tonight.
built up. See, it doesn't happen overnight.
Well,
The
you
pressure is built up.
The question goes to the audience. Do you want politics running
It
over the
will- it
IPL?
will
What do
It
you
is
think?
better.
not politics running on the game.
It's not
Well,
politics, it's
gentlemen,
human
It is
rights.
part of a society.
Human rights violation.
If the game is a part of society, politics is part of society.
Well, Jayalalitha has made her point very clear. I want our viewers to make their point clear on this. Love to hear from